Welcome back to Nuparu's workshop for another episode of the Toa Factory. We're going to go ahead and just jump right in, hop to our wheel of elemental powers, and let's see what we get. And it's going to be a Toa of Stone. Fantastic first couple to start with, Ice and Stone. You know, the classic combo of Kopaka and Pohatu. Always my favorite team up in the Bionicle universe. It's such a good dynamic. So for the heads, I'm thinking I could either go with the orange eyes or the lime green eyes. I'm leaning toward the lime green. The newer Pohatu, the G2 Pohatu, with his lime green eyes and his lime green arm, I really liked that color, so we're going to go with that. Going for some arms, we could again go with the classic tan color, but I'm feeling like doing something a little more bold, a little more dramatic. I think maybe actually going with these black limbs. That would be pretty nice. Pretty sure I have enough of those for a Toa here. Might take a minute to find all these. So here are the black limb pieces that I found available. We've got the axle holder arms, some right angle perpendicular arms, the two leg pieces, which is good, so we'll use those for the legs and then decide what to use for the rest of it. Got some feet with a couple of pieces I guess I was using for another mock that never quite came to be. So we're going to use the feet for sure, and I think since we used the axle hole arms on the last last mock we did, I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and we'll stick with the perpendicular right arms. Need the legs, of course. Scrap one of the perpendicular because we only need two of them. Definitely sticking with the shield piece. I'm just feeling it. All right, so here we go. We've got our two perpendicular arms and our two leg pieces. And this guy's going to have one stationary arm, one moving arm. So we'll grab one of these perpendicular connectors. Got all of our Technic gear pieces, gears and ball joint, axles. Need another axle for the legs. There we go. All right, got all the Technic bits that we're going to need for the innards, the guts of this Toa of Stone, who I've decided we're going to call Perkan. Taking Per from Piruk or Paraka, and Khan from, Likan, Kongu. Others, probably, I don't know. But okay, so for the arm design, I'm going to have one arm will hold the shield. The other arm is going to go with the classic Bionicle hand piece. But to keep it from having too much black and not enough brown, instead of having fingers, he's going to have these brown claws, which came from a Chima set. The brown is basically the same color as the Pohatu brown. It's close enough. So we got the feet, we got the torso, legs, of course, and the head. I'm liking that trans bright green for the eyes. I feel like that is just going to pop really nicely with the brown and the black. And these are the masks we've got. I have all these in brown. Well, this one's obviously actually like black, trans black or whatever. But I think it works better than the actual like Pohatu's cow, because that color wouldn't work here. But I think this trans black one works nicely. And let's go. Let's see what Perkan is going to end up looking like and what his story is going to be. I'm going to give him the classic Toa build as well, with the torso the right way up and the legs and arms connected in pretty normal basic ways. I want this guy to have a fairly heroic silhouette. With the shield, I'm feeling sort of a Captain America vibe. Not completely, but he's definitely going to be. He's a stalwart defender, we'll say. That's kind of his guiding characteristic. And I don't think he was born a Toa. He was a Matoran who became a Toa. But I feel like he always felt more at home with the Matoran than he does with the Toa. Pause here. I'm going to make sure these. I always like that making the bushes the bushings, whatever you call them, make it so that little slit lines up correctly. It's just a little tiny thing. I'm sure a lot of people have little building, you know, preferences that they do like that, but I always like to have those lined up when possible. Same when I'm putting in like the axles, the axle pins, you know, those little blue pieces, how they have the slit in them. I always like the slit to be facing certain ways to just make it more, I don't know, symmetrical in my mind. Little OCD things like that pop up with Bionicle every once in a while. But anyway, going back to Pekan's, his story, his personality. Again, I think he's going to come from the southernmost island of the Mata Nui robot. And much like Pohatu, I would say he's quite friendly, tends to be a bit of a peacemaker with his group. There you can see the color. It's a little bit different, but not enough that I'm not going to use it. I'm able to let that kind of stuff slide. You know, there's some things I can't stand, but if the color slightly matches, slightly mismatches, I'm okay with that. Here we go. He's coming together with his classic build. I like the way that shield looks. That's coming together nice. Yeah, and with the brown claws, yeah, I feel like without the brown claws, it'd just be too much black, not enough brown, but I like this. This is good. So for the mask, we're going to go ahead and throw out the Kakama and the How, just because he's already got a shield, and the Kakama was already Pohatu's mask, so I feel like these might be a bit redundant. So now we got X-ray vision, water breathing, levitation, and strength. And we'll do another little bit of a fashion show here to see which one of these looks best. So we've got the Bakari, Mask of Strength. I think this fits with the shield sort of dynamic. He's strong, he's a defender, he's, you know, able to throw that shield and it'll ding you up a little bit because he's got that Mask of Strength. Toa of Stone, of course, always you think strong, one of the first things. Here we've got the Cow Cow. I do like how the eyes look in this one. It's very, very clear, very dramatic. And the color, I think, works well, too, because it doesn't add so much black that it takes away from the brown. And it's, well, same with the brown. It doesn't overpower it or diminish the impact of any of the colors. All right, the Akaku. I do like the way that one green eye looks. And this, the mass power, I feel like would kind of work with the shield. Like it can see through walls and then throw the shield and hit all these angles to have it bounce around and hit people who have no idea he's there. I kind of like that possibility. I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling the vibe of it. And then the Miru. I have to admit, this was always my least favorite of the original masks. It doesn't speak to me. It pokes out too far, and then it's got these weird holes on the cheek, but then like not a hole on the mouth, and it throws me off. But the winner today is the Akaku. I love the way that eye looks, that one single eye, that bright, vibrant green poking through in the sea of brown and black and gray. It works for me. And I feel like the power kind of works as well. He's a defender. He likes to see things that are coming, so he can block them. He can defend his Matoran people. I also find this gear function quite satisfying with the shield. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of pins here because I think it just needs a little bit extra, a little bit something. And I always, with the original Tomats, I always felt like these pins acted sort of like, I don't know, extra muscles or something. There's an episode of Ben 10 where Vilgax has these like, I don't know, piston sort of things built into his arms, and they like slide, or they go into his arm. And when they go into his arm, they make his arms beef up and it gets stronger. So I've always felt that these were kind of similar. At least that's how I see it, as like some kind of extra muscle sort of device. I don't know what the term is, what it would be, but I think that's what it is in my mind. Yeah, that shield function is great. Ping, ping. He's just, people are shooting at him. He's blocking up top, blocking down low. It's beautiful. So a little more about the personality of Perkarn. Yeah, he's friendly, but he has some insecurity. He doesn't feel like he belongs with the Toa. He's more at home with the Matoran. But that does make him a good defender of his people. Because he cares so deeply for the Matoran, for his village, for his friends. Although sadly he does feel like he's less connected to his friends now, his Matoran friends, since he became a Toa. Just because he has responsibilities and challenges that they can't be a part of. But he gets along relatively well with all of his fellow Toa, as you can see with him and his brother of ice. They're getting along so well. Perkan, Toa of Stone, adamant defender of the Matoran. I wonder how many times I'm going to say defender in this whole thing. Probably too many. But it's what he is. He's the defender. And that's a wrap on the second episode of the Toa Factory. Thanks for watching again. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know which of these guys you prefer, Arkua or Perkan. Right now, I gotta say Perkan. Oh, the dark, the brown, that bright green eye. I'm loving that so much. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you soon.